And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is a strike. We're underway. The crew chief is Alan Porter. He's the home plate ump. Ryan Blakeney at first. Edwin Jimenez at second. Jim Wolf over at third. Ground ball and grabbed there by Volpe that throw to first. Excellent play to start the game. One down.
I've been gone a little bit, Michael, and that's the way we're going to start this game. I like it. What a play. Off the bat, looks like it's going right up the middle. Volpe shows great range. Nice little slide up to his feet and a good throw.
Very smart low bridge there by Torres.
Yeah, keep it.
You're a pitcher, you have to love a play like that to start it off. Here's Mark Canha. And a strike.
Mark Canha, his numbers very solid, and it's basically just the type of player he is. His 10th season, 35-year-old. You remember him with the Mets in Oakland, and he went to the Brewers over the offseason. Came over to the Tigers, but you know, he is a good, solid player.
That one's looped into right center field. It is a base hit. Cutting over is Soto, and that holds Canha to a single. Here's Winsel Perez. Winsel, 24 years old, made his major league debut on April 8th. And off to a nice start.
His first home run the other day, and then 2 days later, hit one from both sides of the plate. So knocked from 0 to 3 in a couple days. How you been, Michael? It's been a while. You know?
Yeah, I thought you left me. I don't know if I'd ever see you again.
You know, life gets in the way every once in a while.
Wow. New grandchild, congratulations.
Yes, yes, thank you. My paternity leave was a little longer than most, right? Yeah. Just a little bit longer.
Yours is grand paternity.
Yes.
2-0. 2-1.
And that's a good pitch there. I mean, you would talk about getting away from the cutter, but you use the cutter to accentuate the sinker. So this just ties him up, and now you can go back to that sinker. You're going to have him knowing that you can throw that cutter in under his hands, which a lefty is very hard to get to.
Two and two on Perez. Count 3-2. Beginning of a 3-game set. Runner goes. Grounded to second. The out is at first. So starting the runners kept them out of.
This is 4th in the major leagues. And both teams, Holmes and Foley, have great closers.
One 1-0 on Kerry Carpenter. Two 2-0. Just underway here at the stadium. Ground ball to second. Gleyber Torres. And that'll do it here in the first. No runs a hit. 1 minute for 3.18 ERA. All the numbers are good except he's 0-4. Let's check out the Nissan pitcher scatter report.
Well, Michael, you touched on it better than it looks. I mean, he is 0-4, 3.18 ERA, and the reason he needs a little help from his friends, as the Beatles would tell you, Michael. He has only had 3 runs scored in his 5 starts. That's not going to help you much as a pitcher. And break the streak, has not given up a home run this year in 28.1 innings, which is the most in the American League of any starter without giving up a home run.
Here is Anthony Volpe. Except for Soto and Wells, you'd be hard-pressed to find a Yankee that had a good series in Baltimore. You heard James Rowson on with Meredith Marakovich, the Yankee hitting coach, said, you know, you also have to say we faced pretty good pitching, and they did, but there was no production whatsoever. There's production for Volpe as he lines ones the other way. Canna fields, and he's...
Michael, I thought you had a fine series. I listened a little bit.
Did you? Thank you.
Don't put yourself in that group of being in a slump. You had a fine series.
You know what? I appreciate that. Well, this guy had a fine series, 6 for 14. He has a 10-game hitting streak. I mean, the superlatives could go on for innings. He's just that good and has been that good. Also, he joined you on Utah Street.
He went out of the yard, huh?
Yep. 447 feet. There was a strike, 1-1. And he did it 28 years ago, 28 years after you did, to the day.
To the day. I felt a lot better that day than I did 28 years ago.
1-2. Judge is on deck. Two and two.
That's amazing to me. I mean, you look at that changeup, and sure, you take it, it's out of the zone, but he doesn't even flinch. I mean, he must pick up the ball so quick out of the pitcher's hand, and that's just a gift. He takes so many pitches without even offering at him.
Ground ball to second. There's one. On to first. It's a double play. They had to turn it quickly because Soto gets down the line.
Yeah, kind of got caught in the middle on that pitch, and you can see right at the end, just kind of rolled over it. And that's not his typical swing. Just you see him around the ball and immediately put his head down, started digging, but too easy of a double play.
Yankees lead the majors in double plays as a team. And a little bit of a troubling trend. 39. One and one. Two and one. Three and one to Judge.
As you watch Olsen get into this game, you'll notice he throws a lot of breaking balls. Loves a slider. Throw a bigger part of like kind of curveball, but he'll use a sinker and a four-seamer. But he loves his breaking ball.
Let's see the scatter report on the home plate umpire. Alan Porter is considered neutral. More low strikes called, fewer high strikes on righty batters. 15 years in the bigs, and he's the crew chief. Judge thought it was low. 3-2 is outside. as Judge works a walk.
And Aaron Judge sometimes going to the plate, he has to know that, I'm going to see one pitch, and after that, then they're going to be off the plate. They're never going to give in. No matter how Aaron Judge is swinging the bat, he's going to be pitched very carefully.
Game time weather presented by Bigelow, the official hot tea of the Yankees. 57 degrees, humidity 58%. The wind is from right field to left field. Here's Alex Verdugo, and a strike.
Well, I landed yesterday, Michael, and it was beautiful. Everything's in bloom, the tulips, the red bud trees, all kind of stuff. And then I woke up today, and it's like 50 gray and cold again. What season are we in?
It's a little chilly. Now, Verdugo was on paternity leave, and Meredith, you found out the name of the baby.
The new baby is Aliana. Both baby and mom are doing just fine, and he had a smile from ear to ear when he told me about the name and the baby.
Aliana, I like that.
He also has a hat in his locker that says Dad Gang. That's pink.
Beautiful. Runner goes. Big jump. Foul ball. Judge got a running jump on Reese Olson.
Olson's one guy that you will try to run on. He's had some problems. He had some Tommy John surgery a couple years ago, and since he's been back, has not been throwing out runners like he did before the surgery.
Rip foul into the second deck and then falls into the lower deck. Runner goes again. No throw. Stolen base for Judge.
Judge often pacing again to kind of tell you what I was talking about numbers wise. Before surgery, threw out 47% of the runners. After the surgery, 17%. So that's a big difference as Rizzo takes strike three.
So Verdugo down on strikes, no runs a hit, no errors, and one man. 3 for his last 33. And there's a strike.
A big prospect. He's 22 years old. This is his rookie year. Before playing in the major leagues, Michael, signed a 6-year, $28 million before this season. So they put a lot of stock in him to become a player that they need.
Well, that includes 3 team options, so they have control of him until 2032. Right to Volpe. Hey, suit up the season at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of official jerseys, caps, t-shirts, collectibles, and more. Gear up with your Yankees at MLBshop.com. Here is Spencer Torkelson. Kind of hard to believe, but Torkelson is still looking for his first home run.
What, he had 31 last year?
Yeah. Gleyber Torres finally got off that rocky highway, but this is kind of stunning. 31 home runs last year. Right back to Stroman. He can field his position.
Well, sinker ball pitchers better be ready because they're going to be put in play. They're going to be ground balls. Makes it look easy. Strike a pose there after you catch that. Huh?
Here is Zach McKinstry.
drop your book over there, Michael? Something just happened over there.
Somebody fell.
Audrey, you all right back there? Meredith? All right, everybody's accounted for.
Guys, there are a lot of decorations back here in the audio portion of the booth, and one of the baseball bats just fell. Everyone,
Sounded like one of Joe Girardi's binders. He brings a lot of binders to the game, man.
that suitcase is thick, Mike.
Oh, my goodness. Paul, you would have loved it. We could not get an Uber in Baltimore, so me, David, and Joe walked to the hotel.
Right.
See, look at all
And
that stuff.
Joe, then
What, do you need a backpack for his notes?
well, Joe's in the best shape of the three of us,
Sure.
by far, and he was.
Pumping and pumping.
And then he wouldn't walk the next 2 days.
So you showed him up, huh?
Oh, we did, but he said this stuff is too heavy. (3-2), and it gets passed well, so a walk to McKinstry. David's showing off his new hip. He feels great now. He'll walk anywhere.
No limp whatsoever.
No, not at all.
Showing off his new hip.
Michael, Joe told me it was more of a temperature issue. He said it was too hot with the suit on. It wasn't the bag.
Well, I wasn't exactly dressed in a bikini. I mean, I had a suit on, too.
Wow. Thank goodness. That'd have been an ugly story. I liked it before that came out.
Here's Javier Baez. Well, Paul, this guy is a mystery to me. This guy used to be a great player. He signed a contract with the Tiger. He's not the same player anymore.
Yeah, and you know, you're betting when you sign a huge free agency that, you know, the guy's going to continue, you know, to put up the size of numbers. Let me give you 1 year, Michael.
Stolen base for McKinstry.
I mean, you go back to 2018. He was second in the MVP to Yelich. Hit 290, 34 home runs, and led the National League with 111 RBIs. 40 doubles and 21 stolen bases also. I mean, that's what this free agent contract was for. And you're right, he just has not lived up to it.
And that's the pitch he just can't hit. It's unbelievable. Diving, might spotlight you in a future game like we did Phil and Scarlett. Giancarlo Stanton will lead out the bottom of the second inning, 0-0. And a strike. Well, Olsen had to make the rotation out of spring training. It was a 3 guys for 2-spot competition between Olsen, Casey Mize, and Matt Manning. Olsen and Mize won the spots, and Mize will pitch tomorrow.
Well, if you look at what they've done, you know, to get off to a decent start, it's all been pitching. I mean, their offense has really, really been bad. Defensively, they're pretty sound. They've had some issues recently, but you know, this team is all based on pitching right now.
One thing this guy does is keep the ball in the ballpark. Did he go? No.
What do you think, Mark?
I think he went. Now he did. 1 away.
Well, away, and then kind of run one up under Big G's hands. Not able to get to it.
Here's Rizzo. Rizzo in Baltimore, 1 for 14. Had a really good series in Milwaukee. Hit his 300th home run. But like most of the other Yankees, he struggled in Charm City. Rip foul. Rizzo calls time. The Yankees are in the middle of playing 17 straight games. These are the final 3 before an off day on Monday. So their bullpen's been taxed, but they've kept it together. The bullpen's done great work. They were unbelievable in Baltimore. Grounded up the middle. Baez is there. 2 away.
Droughts. It just kind of. You hope to yourself that it ends, and you just wonder, is this the day?
An amazing stretch. I mean, 53 games dating back to the beginning of last September. This guy hit 25 home runs last year.
Yeah, he came out of a great spring training too. And I remember, Michael, we did the first series in Houston out of spring training, and I was thinking, you know, he had a great spring. He could get off to a great start, and you remember that first series, he got hit, got hit in the hand.
Yep.
And sometimes it can change the way you go about things for a while.
Didn't come out of the lineup, but maybe it changed something. Bottom of the second inning, nothing. Austin Wells is on deck. Just missed. 3-2. There's a base hit to right field.
That's one thing Glaber has shown over his career. He can put the ball in play the other way if he needs to with 2 strikes. And very surprisingly, that whole right side just wide open. And kind of dragged the bat with that backhand. Hit it the other way.
There's Austin Wells. And a strike. Been hot in the last 6 games. Was hitting in bad luck for the first month. But started to have a couple drop in. High fly ball center field. Perez will put it away for the final out. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man will Nick Birdie throw. But my radio partner Don LaGreca is throwing out the first pitch.
I heard that, and I have full confidence he's going to throw a strike.
You think so?
I think so.
All right.
Have you ever done it, Michael?
I have never been asked to throw out a first pitch. Nope.
Now, if they asked you, would you go?
Ground ball is short.
Thank goodness. You don't even have to answer. Ground ball to short.
I mean, well, where would this pitch take place, Meredith?
Somerset.
Well,
You can come along with me if I ever give them a date.
All right.
When I'm going to do it.
If you and I are off on the same day, we'll go together and we'll throw out double first pitches.
Double barrel.
Yep.
I like that. Paul, do you believe him?
Not really.
Kind of with you.
Here's Riley Green. Meredith, it's so funny listening to Aaron Boone discuss Garrett Cole, because Aaron will not put a date on anything because he doesn't want it to come back where, oh, it's a setback. He just says things are going well, but he will not put a date on it.
And you ask Garrett Cole that same question. He won't either. He tells me he's literally taking it day by day. He doesn't like to look at the schedule too far in advance. And the reality is, Michael, it's how he responds to each step along the way. He can wake up one day and feel something. But so far, the Yankees and Garrett Cole have been fortunate that he has been recovering well. He hasn't had any issues, and they hope that continues.
Well, that's the way to root. The count 3-1.
It was so much easier, Michael, when the team is playing, getting off to a good start, that, you're not forced to rush to try to be the savior. He is the #1 pitcher. There's no doubt about it, but you want him 100%.
That one's looped into left center field. It's a base hit. Verdugo will get the ball in, so a base hit for Riley Green.
You talked about the couple guys in this lineup, Green and Kana, up this inning, are two of the guys that are really carrying the load offensively for the Tigers. He stays inside the ball. Big extension. Ball got in all on the label, but strong enough to drive it to the outfield.
Here's Kana. Talking about the pressure on Cole, the fact that the Yankee starters have a 3.48 ERA, that's the 7th best in baseball. They've done a great job, each and every one. And that, that buys Cole, I'm sure, some peace of mind. There's A.J. Hinch, manager of the Tigers. You could see Stroman use the clock there. Batter was set. He was on the rubber, and he just made it go all the way down to 1. Tied him up 3-2.
That's what the good sinker will do, especially against righties. It just kind of eats you up inside. Stroman going with that sinker, trying to get the ground ball, get out of this inning.
Let's see if they send Green 3-2 and 1 out.
The Yankee bench was wondering the same thing that you were wondering, Michael. A little quick throw over, see if you can get any indication that Green is going to break from first.
He does. Ground ball is short. That keeps him out of the double play. Volpe across the diamond. 2 away. Each inning, the Tigers have had a runner in scoring position. Stranded them all in the first 2. Let's see what happens here in the third as Perez takes the strike. Popped up behind the plate. Austin Wells cannot make the play. He was having trouble with it from the start.
Yeah, we've seen him do this a couple times this year. I don't know if the wind is affecting you. The wind is blowing the ball back out to left field at this point, or if he kind of picked it up late.
So Perez gets a free swing, and they give Wells an error to continue the at bat. Well, the E2 means that it would be an unearned run, but Stroman just wants to keep the run off the board.
Yeah, you really have to kind of relock yourself. If you're Stroman, thinking that pop-up, you're out of the inning, and all of a sudden, wow, I'm still in the same position.
Another thing is it makes you throw extra pitches.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a close eye on pitch count. Now you're throwing pitches that you wouldn't be throwing in the dugout. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
A little dysfunction there going down the little stripe.
Scooped into right field and deep. Going back is Soto. And right on the track, he makes the play for the final out of the inning. No runs a hit. One error and one man left.
You know, going back to Lou Whitaker, Alan Trammell, I mean, that takes you back to '84 in the World Series. And I was kind of reading today that through April, 18 wins is the best start they've got off to since 1984. And, you know, you go back, it seems like forever, but, you know, then you see these pictures of Trammell and Lou Whitaker and Willie Randolph. It's just, it brings me back to being a kid again, huh?
And you know that 84 team started off 35-5.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
They never looked back.
And they beat San Diego that year, right?
Yep.
In the World Series.
Yep. And there's that famous video where Dick Williams, the Padre manager, came out and talked to Gossage.
Yeah.
About pitching to Kirk Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to walk him, and Gossage said no. Hit the ball into orbit.
And then Sparky was yelling at Gibby from the dugouts, and they don't want to walk you. So he was, you know, both managers were working both sides, and obviously it worked out better for the Tigers.
9-1-2 in the Yankees order. 1-2 on Oswaldo. 2-2.
Kind of miss the old Tiger Stadium, though, Michael. I think it was 1999 they closed that.
That was a fun place.
Yeah, it was just, you felt the history of baseball when you walked in.
Strike three.
It was basically in the upper deck, so it made it more majestic. It was such a cool place to take batting practice.
When I first started broadcasting with John Sterling, so that was 92. That was before they moved the press box way upstairs.
Yeah.
You were so close to home plate that you could hear conversations between the catcher and the umpire. Like not screaming, you could hear conversation. And it was dangerous, too.
Right.
So John and I would wear baseball gloves.
Really?
And then you had the option of putting down a screen in front. And I said, give me that screen.
So you weren't trusting your eye hand then?
No. It was that close.
We had a call time. We had a ball out in left center field. Just to keep you updated, Michael.
Thank you. Volpe singled in the first. And chops one to second. Keith. 2 outs here in the third.
Well, coming into this game, we told you in the scouting report 0-4, but don't take it for granted because he's thrown the ball well, and you see why. Nothing's been hit hard. He's got command of his slider off the plate or into lefties, and a good fastball can sink it and throw the four-seamer with it.
Originally a 13th round pick out of high school in 2018 by Milwaukee. And the Tigers made a deadline deal with Milwaukee. They sent Daniel Norris to the Brewers, and this is when Riley Olson was in A-ball, and Riley Olson came to the Tigers. So you got to scout every level of the minors, and they got themselves a pretty good pitcher all these years later. 1-1. 1-2 on Soto. Soto wrapped into a double play in the first inning. And the pitch. 2-2. I get the sense sometimes, Paul, that he's setting a pitcher up for a third at bat. Did you ever think that far ahead?
No, but you know, there is a time in your career that you're not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. You don't panic. I mean, when you're young and you start getting late in the count and you get 2 strikes, it just, your mind goes too quick. And you can tell immediately Juan Soto doesn't care if he has 2 strikes. He's not going to leave the strike zone very often, and he's still going to have a good swing at the ball.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Nothing. Triple. 2-2. Hit sharply and grabbed by Keith. And the Yankees go down in order. 1-2-3 against Reese Olson. We go to the 4th. In the order for Detroit. And a strike to Kerry Carpenter. Well, Paul mentioned the offense for the Tigers. They score 4.10 runs per game. That's 19th in baseball. Their batting average 227. That's 22nd. On base percentage 301. That's 24th. They slug at 365. That's 21st. And they have 28 home runs, tied for 22nd. So they are having a hard time putting runs on the board, but their pitching has been very good. That's why they're 18-13. Foul ball.
So Carpenter was just kind of playing along in the minor leagues, and all of a sudden he met a guy named Richard Shank. You know who Richard Shank is, Mike?
No.
He's kind of Aaron Judge's private little hitting coach, and he worked with. And all of a sudden he comes back in 2022, hits .313 with 30 home runs. Pretty much changed his life. And here he is in the major leagues.
So when he was struggling, he had to look for work while he was trying to find his way. So he has 3 jobs listed on his LinkedIn account: Publix Supermarket, Dick's Sporting Goods, and player, Detroit Tigers.
Just in case.
Yeah.
To the Sporting Goods in the offseason, the minor leagues.
Yeah.
Agler Davidson was the name of him. Columbus, Ohio. Sat on the desk just waiting for somebody to ask a question.
3-2. Let's get paid by the hour.
Oh yeah, was it like $1.65 an hour back then?
That's enough to take Neville to the Ponderosa, right?
I don't know. That took a couple weeks saving to get to Ponderosa. We're more into like Taco Bell and Antigua.
Payoff. And Carpenter works a walk. And that brings up Keith. I think this is a fascinating case study. He's 22 years old, and Paul mentioned this before. Before he played a game in the big leagues, he signed a 6-year, $28 million deal. That was in January. Now, there's 2 ways to look at it. You're getting security. The other way is you're really underselling yourself, because if you become a good player, grounded to first, And they will get 2.
I love great stories, Michael, and then they're kind of, they're just blown apart by a quick double play. But I agree. I just think the organization, and you see this ball was ripped. Not a lot of time for Rizzo. Immediately step on the base, turn the double play. The first organization I kind of remember doing that was the Cleveland Indians. When they were signing, Baerga and Vizcaino and guys that weren't up for arbitration, but they were locking them up. And again, as a young player, you want security, and as an organization, you got a chance to keep these guys.
Fly ball by Torkelson. Verdugo puts it away, and that's going to do it in the 4th inning. Train at this point. Here's Aaron Judge. 1-0. Judge walked in the 1st inning, stole a bag. One on Judge. Grounded to 3rd. Meredith, I watched your interview with Judge after the game, and although he's struggling, he just keeps an equal way about him. He doesn't show the frustration at all.
He acts the same way if he hits 3 home runs as opposed to if he goes 0 for 3. Obviously, he's frustrated and he wants to get back to his old self, but you can't tell when you talk to him post-game necessarily what type of game he had. One thing he did say, Michael, and I think, Paul, you've already noted this, he just seems like he is not barreling up balls that he typically would. So far this season, he's just missing, whether it's not getting that many pitches to hit, but when he does get a pitch to hit, he doesn't seem to be barreling it up. That's been part of the frustration. When I talked to James Rowson earlier today, he said he thinks it's just a little bit of a timing thing with Judge, nothing too mechanical.
It's funny because if you look at all the inside statistics that they look at, his exit velocity is very good, still in the top 10 in baseball. But when they say barrel, it's the angle that the ball's coming back. It's not the same as it was last year. And that's why he's hitting in so many double plays.
And the funny thing about the barrel thing, you were talking about the numbers, it doesn't go from like 5 to 31%.
Yeah,
so it's a huge area that you could be in.
Yeah, 5 to 32 degrees, I believe, is what would be considered a barrel.
That's way too much information, Mike. That would have confused me a lot.
It's a lot of info. It's 8 to 32. Now that would be considered the sweet spot for a barrel. Now I was talking to Joe Girardi about this, between innings the other day, and he said, I love the information. He goes, but what I would tell the front office sometimes, there's some guys that they can't handle that information.
Yeah.
They have to react to play baseball, but if they're processing all the information, sometimes it's not good. Ground ball to first. Torkelson will take it himself.
I would think, just looking at the information, because pitchers are...
David Cohn said that he wishes that they had the information then that they have now, because he would love it. Because you have a lot of time to put it into play.
Right.
The 0-1 to Stanton. 1-1.
I remember one time I got called into Joe Torre's office, and he was saying, what's wrong? I was frustrated. I said, I cannot get to that ball inside off a lefty. I just cannot get to it right now. And he's like, you know what? Did you ever think how hard it is to throw that pitch 3 consecutive times right on the inside corner? And when I left the office, it made a lot of sense. Because on TV, it looks easy to hit the inside corner. When you're out on that mound, to make that perfect pitch 3 times in a count, made me feel much better. I still struck out, but it made me feel much better about myself.
Joe definitely had a calming influence on you.
Yeah, sometimes I needed it.
Swing and a miss. 7 in a row retired by Reese Olson. We're going to go to the 5th inning. Fly ball left field. Verdugo right there. Up the middle, right there is Gleyber Torres. teammate of yours, Paul.
Yeah, 96, 97. I got this one too, Mike.
All right, good. So here's Jake Rogers. Jake Rogers has the same mustache as Austin Wells.
Very observant there. That's what happens when you get a 0-0 game. You have to start noticing other things around the ballpark because there's nothing on the scoreboard, right?
Right, that's right. But I like it because it's a Munson mustache.
This has been a great, I mean, when you're facing a team that, you know, it's not scoring a lot of runs, and if you're Stroman, 14 out of 18 first pitch strikes. You know, you just start throwing strikes, make them beat you. What a great inning for Stroman.
We're halfway through. Rizzo grounded to short in the second inning, so he's 0 for 1. And a strike. Skied the other way, 0-2.
You heard Aaron Judge talk about, you know, fouling off the good pitch, not putting it in play the way you want, and that was one right there. Anthony Rizzo got a fastball right down the middle and just fouled back.
Still 0-2. Torres on deck. Bottom of the 5th inning, first game of this 3-game set. One and two. High fly ball, center field. Perez puts it away. Well, Thursday was featured on the first episode. The series is hosted by Gracie Cashman. New episodes will drop every Thursday on the Yes app, but this first episode will premiere on Yes. Grounding to third off the bat of Gleyber Torres. 2 away.
We got Stroman and Olsen making it look easy here. I mean, just nothing. Hit hard, ball not leaving the infield.
Here's Austin Wells. You know what happened on this date in 1936?
36. It's got to be a DiMaggio or something like that, right?
Look at you, Joe DiMaggio's major league debut. 3 for 6. He scored 3 runs and he was off and running.
Did he ever do anything wrong? Everything we said about it was like perfect. 3 for 6 in his first game.
Driven the other way and deep. Green going to the corner, and it's a foul ball. I read a quote from Stan Musial who said, you know, people compared him to DiMaggio. He said, I was not close to him. He said, because DiMaggio at his best, nobody could even reach that. He goes, and even when he wasn't at his best, he said he was still the best.
It's amazing when you hear that written by a reporter or something, but when you hear somebody that was a Hall of Famer himself say that, it means a lot.
I mean, when a guy's nickname is the man, it says that.
Yeah.
3-2 on Wells. And Olsen deals. Sky the other way again, and again slices foul.
Sometimes that Wells does not get his front foot down, so he can't catch up. I mean, that was a nice hittable breaking ball, but it's like his foot wasn't down to the point where he could turn on it. He ended up kind of pushing the bat and fouling it off the other way on an off-speed pitch.
And he worked the walk. There's Oswaldo Cabrera. And a strike, 0-1. That one gets away. Catcher doesn't know where it is. And Wells alertly goes to second.
Yeah, with 2 outs, anytime you can kind of anticipate a ball in the dirt and not even think about it, I mean, make him throw you out. You see, well, as soon as you pick that up, just take off. Two outs, then you get an opportunity to be driven in by a single.
One and two. Swing and a miss. Cabrera down on strikes. Yankees strand a runner at second. We go to the 6th. Poorly, but last 17 games he's played very well. We start the 6th inning, and there's a strike to Riley Green. Top of the Tigers order. Green's 1 for 2. And now on his line between both Torres and Volpe for a base hit. Second hit for Green.
He has had a funny sound to it, like almost he hit off the end of the bat. But yeah, right off the end of the bat, but it finds a hole on the right side. See, David Torres has him to pull. And ball towards the middle, no chance. Really looking for a ground ball here from Kenna. Green does not run. No stolen bases on the year so far.
And there's a strike.
$16 out of 20 first pitch strikes. That's pretty good, right?
That'll get it done. Oh and 2. Swing and a miss. Got him chasing the slider. All right, name that Yankee. These are the clues. Now, Paul, are you a gambler?
He's a gambler. It's got to be. Huh?
Kenny Rogers. Ironically enough, Joe Girardi told me a story about him and you.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday.
He liked to overbid and bridge.
He said that you, Zimmer, Kenny Rogers, and Joe would play bridge
right
on the plane. And Zimmer would go nuts because Kenny Rogers just was indecisive with his moves.
He bid all these points, and then he'd tell Zim, I'm a little short. And he'd lay down his cards, and like Zim would just throw them up. And you got nothing. Still miss those days.
Kenny didn't live up to the contract he signed with the Yankees, but pitched very well in other places. Good pitcher.
He's one of the guys that really, really wanted to pitch well here, and it just didn't happen. And he just put more pressure on himself. It seemed like every start. But good guy, good pitcher.
I found the story unbelievable that 3 players would be playing with a coach. You never see that.
Yeah, it was kind of towards the end of my career. Usually, you know, it was poker games with the guys and stuff. But yeah, when Zim really taught us how to play bridge. And of course, Zim is a gambler, so you know, you never played for fun. There was always something per point or something, and then Kenny would lay down absolutely nothing, so Zim would have no chance. And Joe and I would just sit over there and laugh.
So it's a team? It's like 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, going to the phone, get somebody up in the bullpen as Matt Blake will come out and talk with Stroman, who's at 74 pitches and has runners on first and second against the Orioles. And the reason we bring that up is that doesn't happen that often. Last time the Yankees scored 6 runs in a 4-game series, you have to go back to 2014, and that was also against Baltimore.
What's weird about it is it followed up 30 in 2 games, right?
Yep,
in Milwaukee.
15 and 15. It was one of those series against the Orioles they could have easily have won 3, but they ended up losing 3, and that's what goes in the standings. So here's Kerry Carpenter. One and 0. Also, the lack of offense puts a lot of pressure on pitchers. You can't make a mistake. You have to be perfect, because you feel if you make a mistake here and it's a 3-run home run, the team's not scoring.
Yeah, this is where you're really looking for that ground ball, but Volpe almost right behind second base. So a ground ball the other way is going to be trouble for the Yankees.
2-0 on Carpenter. Found the cutter back.
Yeah, that's the dangerous pitch right there. That cutter, if you do not get it into a left-handed hitter, then it's this kind of mediocre fastball out over the middle of the plate. Very fortunate to have this ball fouled off. See, this ball ended up middle. That's not where you want it.
Two and two. Has not been much traffic on the bases. Tigers had a runner in scoring position in each of the first 3 innings, all stranded. This is the first inning where they've had 2 runners on base. Stroman trying to work out of it.
It was a sinker in. It was preceded by a cutter that he tried to throw in, so you would expect him to pretty much stay in that same area. As he can jam him. Trying to get a swing and a miss there, just not even close. No, I think you really just have to trust that sinker. You know, throw it out middle half and just hope he rolls over, and you can get an easy double play.
Three-two. Grounded foul.
Well, he's done that a few times. At 3-2, gone to that slurve and trying to get a swing and a miss with the big breaking ball down and in. That ball ended up on the middle of the plate, middle in, but a pitch that he could still get a bat on.
The payoff. Paul, have you noticed it's back?
What's that?
The bacon smell?
I have noticed, yes. That's why you're so happy up here tonight.
I'm in a good mood, yeah. Three-two. And he walked him. Bases loaded. Well, Ian Hamilton is warming, close to being ready.
I think Aaron Boone is going to give him all the leeway he can because he has the possibility of getting that ground ball. He had set him up for another sinker, but he went to the cutter for a ball.
So here is Colt Keith. And a strike. Oh, and 2.
So you really got to watch it because we've talked so many times about Stroman being a sinker baller. Now you're 0-2. Do you get away from your sinker and go for a strikeout? Or do you try to make that good sinker and get a double play?
The 0-2 pitch. 1-2.
That was just kind of a show me slider that he was hoping to get a swing and a miss.
Still 1-2. They are making Stroman work. Pitch count at 86.
Keith and Carpenter have both been in this situation. He got to a point where he could make that good sinker, and they fouled him off. Instead of putting him in a play where he's out of the inning, they've been fouled off. That'd be frustrating for Stroman.
2-2. And the count is full. No place to put Keith.
Yeah, he has really gone away from the sinker as soon as he gets ahead in the count. And then, you know, the Tigers have fought back to getting good counts. Now full count, bases loaded.
And the pitch. Just got a piece to stay alive. There's ball 4. That'll force in a run. Keith was way behind on the count, fought way back to work the walk, and it's 1-0 Tigers, and that's going to do it for Stroman. 3 straight walks with inside. Now, Stroman was great through 5 shutout innings. He threw just 64 pitches. That's under 13 per inning. But in the 6th inning, he threw 26 pitches. So he's had 5 walks in consecutive starts now. Fouled the slider back 1-2. Swing and a miss. Torkelson down on strikes, out number 2.
Well, he got the big strikeout now that you got to realize you got an opportunity to get out of this inning. A little spinner away gets Torkelson. You got to believe that you can get another out here and only give up a run. Kind of momentum's on your side for your offense to finally bust through. Marcus Stroman gave him plenty of chances, threw a lot of zeros up here before the 6th.
McKinstry grounds into second. Hamilton does a great job. And the Tigers leave the bases loaded, but they do score 1. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 1-0 Detroit. We'll take over for Reese Olson, who gave them 5 shutout innings. This will be his 12th game. 2-1, 2.75. Top of the order, starting with Anthony Volpe. Yankees have 2 hits. The Tigers have 3. Tigers lead 1-0.
Michael, I was just thinking when I was looking at that hockey jersey thing. I mean, sports are good in New York right now.
Yeah.
Huh? The Rangers going to the 2nd round. The big Knicks win last night. Now the Yankees got to follow suit, huh?
Absolutely. You're digging the Knicks, though. You like the way they play.
I do. There's some guys on their team that I really enjoy watching, and I always, this time of year brings you back to, even in the late 90s when they were really good, going to the playoffs, the excitement of the Gardens. You grew up a Knicks fan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 3-1 on Volpe. Last 5 games, the Yankee offense, 171 batting average, just 6 runs, 7 extra base hits, and 6 double plays. Three and 2 on Volpe. Anthony singled in the 1st and grounded to 2nd in the 3rd.
Yeah, Michael, we went over it in the pregame. I mean, Olson, he's been much better than his record, but their bullpen, 4th in all of baseball. So it's not an easy task to put up runs off their bullpen.
The closer is Jason Foley. He has 9 saves. Only Clay Holmes has more in the American League.
It went right after him. 2 consecutive fastballs right there. Took the first one and then swung right through this one.
There's Juan Soto, 0 for 2. Skied the other way and out of play.
It's just cold enough, Michael, when you hit him off the end of the bat. You see Soto shaking that hand. It just wrings your hands to hit the ball off the end of the bat when it's a little cool. Little slider, didn't quite get it, but just cued it off the end of the bat. Ouch.
Alan Porter knew what was going on and gave him time. One and 2. Two on Soto. Soto leads the American League with 26 walks. In 2nd place, the guy behind him in the order, Aaron Judge, with 24. Two. Swing and a miss. Got it right by him. 95 miles an hour. 2 strikeouts. 2 batters.
It's just a good mix of pitches. It looks like Soto was kind of in between the fastball and the curveball. This fastball again right there, but saw a couple sliders away early in the count.
Faedo, a former first-round draft pick in 2017 out of the University of Florida. There's a strike to Judge. He's one of these starters that didn't pitch well as a starter. Last year, 5.21 ERA as a starter, moved to the bullpen, 2.10 as a reliever. Judge 0 for 1. He's 0 for his last 13. And the pitch. 1-2. His University of Florida team, on that team, Pete Alonso and Harrison Bader. Pretty good college team. Strike 3. What an inning for Faedo. As Judge down looking, he strikes out the side. Yankees go down in order 1-6. Now he's going to start the 7th inning. It'll be Javi Baez, Jake Rogers, and Riley Green. That's 8, 9, and 1 in the Tigers order. Grounded to third. Oswaldo Cabrera, 1 pitch, 1 out. There's Jake Rogers. He's 0 for 2. Both of those at bats against Stroman. One and 0. Ground ball, base hit through the right side.
Okay, Gleyber Torres playing up the middle where that whole right side is open. Rogers just shoots one the other way.
Here's Riley Green, 2 for 3 against Stroman. He scored the only run in the game. He led off that 6th inning with a single to center. Then Mark Canha struck out. All right, 1 on, 1 out. Then Perez, Carpenter, and Keith all walked to force in a run. That's when Hamilton came on to get the final 2 outs, leave the runner stranded. Base hit to left field. Green went the other way. He is 3 for 4. Rogers moves to second.
Yeah, he's off to a really good start this year. 7 home runs, 15 RBIs on the year, and he just continues to put good at bats on the Yankees tonight. The ball's not out in front of him. They let that ball travel so far that you could just put it, you know, you're not feeling it the other way. You're driving it the other way. Great swing.
1-0 to Canha. Two and 0. Check swing, fouled away. First and second, 1 man out. Did he go? Yes, he did. 2-2.
Take a look here for them. Yeah, I think he went through there, Michael. That ball, if he puts it in play, it's going to be a little grounder. Mike, every once in a while you look up at the scoreboard and you look at the out-of-town scores, and some of them just, they don't make sense. It's like Cincinnati, Baltimore. It's like, oh, no World Series. You got the Mets in Tampa Bay, Toronto and Washington. It just, the interleague things kind of get you messed up.
It's throwing you.
That's right.
Fly ball deep right. Going back is Soto. He'll make the catch. Tagging as Rogers will go to third. So kind of gave that a ride, but Soto ran it down. Look away, Paul. Look away.
It's just every once in a while the interleague gets you a little confused.
White Sox Cardinals throws you.
Yeah.
And that's going to do it for Hamilton. There's a 50-50 throw. That's 19 grand.
That helped things, wouldn't it?
The game. How about this one by Anthony Volpe? Robbing Riley Green of a hit. You never know what happens, but that could have been 4 hits for Riley Green if not for that play.
You don't know what's happening at the end of this game, obviously, but Ian Hamilton did a phenomenal job keeping the Yankees in this game. This game could have easily got out of hand. Bases loaded. The Yankees still very much in, obviously, at 1 run. But again, with the way the offense is going, this is a big out for Victor Gonzalez.
Winsel Perez, 1-0.
Thinking behind this move right here, Aaron Boone. Perez a switch hitter, but much better from the left side. So to switch him to the right side, just a better matchup.
(3-0) on Perez. Carpenter is on deck. And he walked him on 4 pitches to load the bases.
Well, you're going to see a pinch hitter now. Aaron Boone kind of is stuck here. Now you're going to get a righty on the left.
It'll be Matt Vierling pinch hitting for Carpenter. Now you knew this move was going to happen. You're almost gambling, though. You get Perez, you don't have to worry about it. Bases loaded. Vierling pinch hitting. 1-0 Tigers are in the 7th. And a strike from Gonzalez. And quickly 0-2. Hitting .357 and 28 at-bats against lefties, .246 and 28 at-bats against righties. Thus the move. The 0-2. Just got a piece of the changeup to stay alive.
Michael, I thought you just said bust a move. I was going to get up. Thus the move. All right.
Dennis Santana warming up. Crowd getting into it. Not much to cheer about offensively. Rooting on Gonzalez. 1-2.
Yeah, there's such dangerous pitches there when you're trying to really throw that slider on the back foot of a right-handed hitter that you don't bounce it and you trust Wells is going to block it.
Grounded to Volpe. He goes the short way, and Gonzalez works out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, and the bases are left loaded at the end of 6 1/2. Verdugo will lead off against Faedo, who was very dominant in the 6th inning with 3 straight strikeouts. Andrew Chafin, one of 3 lefties in the bullpen for the Tigers. He's up. That could be for Rizzo if anybody gets on. And there's a strike to Verdugo, 2-1. Alex is 0 for 2. Struck out looking and grounded to first. Just missed him. 3-1.
Just had a sound like it hit something. No, missed everything.
Three and one. Three-two.
If I had him not scared to throw that fastball. Last inning we saw all 3 strikeouts on fastballs right there. Challenge 3-1 here. Hit it. Fouled back.
Just missed inside as Verdugo works a walk.
A really good at bat by Verdugo. I mean, he had challenged him with a fastball, then 3-2 went to the breaking ball in. And now it looked early in the game like they were going to try to take advantage of Rogers throwing behind the plate. See if Verdugo's going to be in motion or if he's going to wait and see if Big G can pop one.
And a strike. 0-1. One and one on Stanton. Just missed. 2-1. Luke Weaver up for the Yankees in their pen. Two and two. Verdugo leads off first. Faedo deals. Strike 3. Stanton down looking. He is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts.
Boy, a lot of guys can get ahead in the count and then can't put hitters away. Faedo goes to the breaking ball here. He has put every hitter that he's got with 2 strikes away. Detroit going back out to the bullpen.
Now with the lefty coming up, Rizzo, they're bringing in the lefty Chafin. So Faedo leaves a runner on first. Yankees trail 1-0 here in the 7th. Against lefties in his career.
Yeah, Chafin a good one. Loves his slider. That's what he'll do. Try to get ahead early inside and then start to work that slider away to left-handed hitters.
2-1. He's been a good pitcher in his career. Last year, though, it didn't go well. 4.73 ERA with Arizona and Milwaukee. But he said it was just stupid stuff between my ears. He said, now it's in the past. We're ready to rock and roll.
I get a little of that myself.
Do you?
So, yeah.
I never see that. 2-2. 3-2. All right, so he's from Collins, Ohio. Where's that? Don't know.
You got me.
Really?
It's off the Stagecoach Trail.
Rizzo works a walk against the tough lefty. That puts the tying run at second. And that'll bring up Gleyber Torres.
Yeah, really good at bat by Rizzo. So hard to lay off those sliders from lefties when you're behind in the count, and which he did. Big at bat here from Gleyber Torres. This is a big opportunity for the Yankees. Big hit. Get this crowd involved.
Swing and a miss.
Just talking to Troy, our producer. Todd Jones and Rod Beck, a little mix on the mound. Huh?
Yep, I can see that. People don't know, but that's how you wear your hair in the winter.
That's how I wore my hair. I used to want my hair to get longer and longer. It just got wider and wider when I was young.
One and one with one out. 1-2. Austin Wells on deck. Would they use a pinch hit or would they send up Trevino? A lot depends on what Gleyber Torres does here.
I think A.J. Hinch is thinking along with you.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he's got to stay.
Yeah.
With Chafin, one more batter after this.
A good pitch to hit there from Gleyber. Sometimes I think Gleyber is a better hitter with 2 strikes. I think he gets a home run out of his mind. That pitch right there, he stayed back a little bit too long and just fouled it off.
Up the middle, there's one, and there's two. Another double play off the bat of a Yankee. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base. We go to the 8th. We go to the 8th inning. Andy Ibanez pinch hitting for Colt Keith. And he takes a strike. Good changeup, 0-2. High fly ball, deep left center. On the run, Judge, and he makes the play. Covering a lot of real estate and hauled it in.
You know, we talked about it many times. Aaron Judge, with his size, he's not just an average player. I mean, he's a good center fielder. Gets a good jump. Obviously, being 6'7" always helps reaching, but to reach across your body, you see him peek over, knowing Verdugo is not going to get there. Good, solid play.
Here is Torkelson. 1-0.
So important as an outfielder, Michael, every once in a while to be able to take your eye off the ball and see what's going on, to check the wall, to check the outfielder. And you saw during that play, Aaron Judge look over at Verdugo and then call it. You know, it becomes an art, because a lot of times you don't want to take your eye off the ball, and it makes the play much more difficult than checking your surroundings and then find the ball again.
You ever check where you are and then you look back up and you can't find the ball?
Well, you got to know certain plays. Remember the Metrodome? I mean, that was one of the things. You could never take your eye off the ball. Usually in outdoor stadiums, especially late in the game where it's dark, you can find it again. I mean, obviously if the sun's out or you're in a dome stadium, you stay away. But, you know, watch right here. He'll peek over right there. Peek over at Verdugo, then find the ball again and then call it. And believe me, you can run a lot better with your eye off the ball than you can just staring at it.
Ground ball grabbed by Oswaldo, and it gets Torkelson for the second out. Here's Zach McKinstry. And a strike. We're in the 8th inning. It's 1-0 Tigers. 1-5-0 for Detroit. 0-2-1 for the Yankees. Coming up for the Yankees, 8-9-1 in their order. Wells, Cabrera, and Volpe. Oh, 2. McKinstry's 0 for 2 with a walk. Grounded to first. Diving stop by Rizzo. Fires to Gonzalez. Got him. Nice play on both ends. LB Miller's on. As Wells fouls one back. There's Miller's number. So they could have kept in Chapman and made them switch over to Trevino, but it shows he'd rather face Wells.
I thought the same thing. At least you make Aaron Boone make a decision.
And also, Paul, in this way, you're playing to the shorter part of the park to tie the game. But that's the decision A.J. Hinch made. Cabrera's on deck. Center field. Meadows in dead center puts it away. 1 down. Crowd of 37,386 on this Friday evening in the Bronx. Not much to cheer about as the Yankees have just 2 hits. A leadoff single in the first by Volpe. And then Gleyber Torres single through the right side of the infield in the second. That's it. Couple of walks. 4 walks. That's the offense. Couldn't hold up. 0-1. It really is a tough game to figure out. And, you know, we always use the line that's baseball Susan, but 15 runs on Saturday in Milwaukee, 15 runs on Sunday in Milwaukee, riding high. And then the bottom drops out offensively. Yeah, pitching has something to do with it, but it doesn't have everything to do with it.
Not every single night. Yeah, obviously you're starting to break down at bats, and you've seen a lot of pitches, good pitches to hit that were fouled off or not put into play like they should have been. But, you know, that's what happens with teams. It's an up and down. I always have said, you know, you never want your whole team to be hot or whole cold. You know, you want 2 or 3 guys in the lineup that are always carrying the load.
Fly ball, left field. Green is there to put it away. Out number 2 here in the 8th. So Cabrera is 0 for 3. Here's Volpe. He's 1 for 3. That single in the first, then a ground ball to second, and then a strikeout. We told you the Tiger bullpen is a strength. So far, so good for them. They got 5 strong innings out of their starter, Reese Olson, then Alex Faedo, Andrew Chafin, and now Shelby Miller. And the closer is Jason Foley. One and one. Two and one. Now, Shelby's wife, Erica, is from the Detroit area, and Shelby is wearing the number 7 that she wore as a volleyball player at Milford High School. Yankees going over some scouting reports. As Volpe works a walk.
It's always intriguing when Soto walks to the plate with an opportunity to get a big hit in a big situation. Well, here we go.
So his 10-game hitting streak could be on the line. So Volpe is the tying run at first. Soto is the go-ahead run at second, or at the plate. And the Yankees are down 1-0 here in the bottom of the 8th. 1-0 on Soto. On deck is Judge. The closer Foley is up now, so they might ask him to get a 4-out save if they can't get Soto here. You know, Jeff Nelson and I spoke a lot about this in Milwaukee, Paul. By leading off Volpe, you really are taking away any stolen base threat, because you're not going to get thrown out with Soto and Judge up next. 3-1. Judge waits. Miller deals. Strike 2. Soto about 10 feet toward first. Thought that was ball 4.
I think he had seen everything away, so this ball was close in, but I don't think Juan Soto is used to having pitches called strikes that he doesn't swing at.
Well, Volpe will go now. 3-2, 2 outs. There he goes. High pop-up, left side. Baez will put it away for the final out of the 8th. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left. We go to the 9th, 1-0 Tigers. Try to hold it right here at 1-0 because in the bottom of the 9th you have 3, 4, and 5 coming up. Judge, Verdugo, and Stanton. Baez 0 for 3 tonight. Swing and a miss. That pitch has bedeviled Baez since signing with the Tigers. Can't lay off it. They tried to go a little farther outside.
Yeah, Bodo would have hit that one. That was in the other batter's box.
Foul ball. Wells could not hold on. Ground ball up the middle. Gleyber Torres fields. Fires. Got him. Nice play by Torres.
That ball hit hard enough where he even double clutched and still had enough on this throw. I thought it was up the middle. Great get, but then he had a double clutch. It's an extremely hard throw against your body across the field. Good play.
Here's the catcher and the number 9 hitter, Jake Rogers. Grounded to third. Cabrera. 2 outs. That's who's coming up for the Yanks in the bottom of the 9th.
Is there a rally in those bones, Michael?
Well, I was going to ask.
You know what? I don't ever want to see the sport coat again if they don't score. It got shut out. I feel like I'm sitting next to Woody Hayes up here with the scarlet and gray on. Just saying.
One and one. One and two. Thinking more Brockmeyer.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right.
2 and 2. Green with 3 hits and 4 bats. And the pitch inside. 3 and 2. Marcana on deck. And the payoff. He walks Riley. Big night for the leadoff batter. On base 4 times. 3 walks, or 3 hits and a walk. And that does not feel good.
He's got the shin guard on. It just, you always have a tendency to either hit below it or above it. It's just got the top of his foot. No, just the top of the shin guard, but still got a little of the shin involved. I always thought it was, you know, Stevie and Gino used to come, and I talked to Stevie before the game, and it always brings back great memories. But, you know, you would foul a ball off your foot or your shin or your knee or something, and the longer you wait, the more it hurts. So it's like, Stevie, go, let's get this over with, because if we wait 5 minutes, it's going to be worse than it is right now.
That freezing spray, the ethyl chloride, did that help?
Yeah, it looked good, right? I don't know if it helped. Looked cool, though.
Two and one on count. The only run in the game scored on a bases loaded walk. That's it. Neither team tearing the cover off the ball. 1-0 Tigers, top of the 9th. Oh, that cutter straight back, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Green leads off first. Ground ball, Gleyber Torres. And that'll do it here in the 9th. Well, Paul wants to know, do the Yankees have a rally in their bones? Anaheim, Chili Davis walked off against Kenny Rogers.
Kenny's big star on our show tonight.
There you go. Here's Jason Foley. Usually keeps the ball in the yard. Their closer against the Yankee captain. Now, Judge has really struggled. There's no other way to put it. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's 0 for his last 14. He really needs a statement hit just to feel better about things. And the count 1-1. Well, they've got the heart of the order. We'll see if they can manage to get a couple runs. And there's a base hit for Judge. So the tying run is on first.
You see a little emotion there from Aaron Judge, and this is how you beat a sinker ball pitcher. You put the ball in play hard and hope that the ground ball finds a hole. See that ball just sinking down and in. Aaron Judge puts it in play and finds a hole. Now the Yankees are set for one of those fantastic finishes, Michael.
Now here is Verdugo as Judge gets this single to start it off. One and 0. How about that? Verdugo shows bunt.
Don't know if he was just taking a pitch there or if he actually had the intention of bunting, but sometimes as a hitter, you know, just to distract a pitcher and a catcher, you will fake a bunt just to take a look at a pitch.
High pop-up. See if it stays in play. It does not.
I think that ball was just inside enough where Verdugo was not able to extend his arms and put the barrel on it. But, you know, they had him thinking, they had Detroit thinking take or possible bunt, and he took a full hack.
Judge at first, held by Torkelson. Bottom of the ninth. 2-1 on Verdugo. And a push bunt. It is a beauty. It's a base hit. Sometimes when somebody keeps showing you something, believe them.
Well, I tell you what, you couldn't have put down a better bunt, too. What a smart play of baseball. He gave himself one chance to hit it out of the ballpark. Then he went and made an absolutely perfect bunt down the third baseline.
Well, the tying runs at second, the winning runs at first. A base hit for Verdugo. Here's Stanton. 1-0. The crowd finally has something to cheer about. 37,386. Judge at second. Verdugo's at first. Nobody out. Bottom of the ninth. Punched. It's a base hit down the right field line. Judge will score. It goes up against the wall. Verdugo will be held at third. It's an RBI double for Stanton. And the Yankees are on the board. They've tied the game at 1.
Boy, just listen, folks, because this just lit this crowd up, and a great piece of hitting by Stanton. Ball away. I'll tell you, a level swing, a rocket down the right field line. Most ballparks, this is a 2-run double. But what a great piece of hitting, and now the Yankees are set up to try to put this one away.
Now they've got some decisions to make. A.J. Hinch comes out. First base is open. Rizzo's due up, lefty batter. Do you walk Rizzo, put a premium then on throwing strikes and face Gleyber Torres? You see Taylor Trammell is pinch running for Stanton at second base.
Yeah, you know, if I'm managing here, Michael, I've got to give myself an opportunity for a double play at the plate. I would pitch very carefully or walk Rizzo, a veteran hitter that knows how to get the job done. You've got a sinker ball pitcher. If you're going to bring the infield in, it's going to, you know, there's a high chance that these ground balls can find a hole.
Infield is in for the Tigers. And a strike to Rizzo. It's a 1-1 game. Can the Yankees walk it off? And they can. There it is. A base hit for Rizzo. Verdugo scores. And the Yankees with a 2-1 walk-off win. The offense wakes up and they walk it off.
Well, you can break down this game, Michael. A couple big clutch hits from guys in the middle of the lineup and an unbelievable job from the Yankee pitching staff to keep them into the game. Again, infield in, put the ball in play. Good chance it's going to find a hole. Good job for the Yankees and a great way to start this homestand.
Well, the money part of 1-0 to Connor. Two and 0. Check swing fouled away. First and second, one man out. Did he go? Yes, he did. 2-2.
Take a look here for them. Yeah, I think you went through there, Michael. That ball, if he puts it in play, it's going to be a little grounder. Mike, every once in a while you look up at the scoreboard and you look at the out of town scores, and some of them just, they don't make sense. It's like Cincinnati, Baltimore. It's like an old World Series. You got the Mets in Tampa Bay, Toronto and Washington. It just, the interleague things kind of get you messed up.
It's throwing you.
That's right.
Fly ball deep right. Going back is Soto. He'll make the catch. Tagging as Rogers will go to third. So kind of gave that a ride, but Soto ran it down. Look away, Paul. Look away.
It's just every once in a while the interleague gets you a little confused.
White Sox Cardinals throws you.
Yeah.
And that's going to do it for Hamilton. There's a 50-50 throw. That's 19 grand.
That helped things, wouldn't it?